What we will do here, we're gonna use the lab. Once again, this is the lab which we have module 3. You're gonna read your, I already explained something about this. You could see here the installation of zabbix. That's what I'm gonna use. Now the damn vulnerable web application, you don't need to install it on Kali for now. Okay, and command injection we're gonna leave for the next week. So installation of zabbix is crucial to be done. It will be as per whatever they're asking us to do on the site here. So the zabbix will be this machine. That will be our monitoring server. So I'm gonna use these instructions. I'm just gonna move them outside so me to be able to use completely the screen. What I would do, just in case, I already actually installed it. I'll stop it. I'll stop it here. At the end, when you finish it, it will look like this. So that will be your monitoring system. That's how it will look. Okay. So I will install it again. I will say I will shut down this computer. Okay, I will create, just in case, on my this is the one which I used yesterday as a web server. If you remember, I moved it in my LAN. That's why it stays here. I will create one more copy of it. So I'm just gonna come here and I'll say right click and I'll say clone, and I'll call this one zabbix 2. Okay, because I already installed the zabbix itself. So what I will do here, indeed, I will just this zabbix doesn't stop. I'll leave it for now like this, just to see if it will stop it. If not, I will shut it down. I'll create a new generate new MAC address, and I will create a link clone so to be faster. And here it is. zabbix 2 is now here. Now, since we need to install a lot of things from the internet, okay, initially what I would do, I would change to zabbix. I would change to this machine the network interface, which for LAN supposed to be my Ethernet 2 adapter. For you, it's whatever is yours there, right? So actually what I would do, I would go and change for NAT network temporarily. The same trick I will do, just to be sure that I will be able to access and to install the tools from internet. So I'll start the machine and I'll follow wherever it's shown in the documentation. Don't forget, yesterday I used the site which I showed it to you, you have it in the movies, to install MariaDB, the 10.2 version, and the version of Apache, the latest version which I installed. I didn't install PHP, which is needed, so I'm going to install it now. I'm going to use, though, the documentation. Once again, that's what we have here on the lab 3 installation of zabbix. Once again, here it is. This is the one what we're going to use on the lab 3, module 3 here. So I'm going to follow it. So if you have any trouble, because I know some people complain that had trouble finishing from the site which I showed yesterday on my movie, well, just do everything from this lab. It's explained again and it will work for you. Don't forget, guys, though, you need to have internet, okay? If your DMZ doesn't have internet, or if your LAN doesn't have internet, and at the moment it doesn't have, because if you remember, we changed, instead of our one interface is not anymore breached, it's now, you know, local because of the attacking machine. So that's why I temporarily just change this interface to NAT network. Now, my tool from here won't work anymore, apparently, because my mobile stern won't work anymore. Because, well, it will if I do the NAT network thing, but there is no need of this since you install the guest edition and you did copy and paste here in the machine. You allowed it, the advanced tools, and you allow the bidirectional thing. there will be no problem. You just to copy and paste commands right after into the terminal. So I'll increase a little bit here the font. I'll log in as a super user, as a root, and then I will check what's going on with my Apache and with my MariaDB. So if you remember yesterday, indeed, actually we checked the Apache, and that was the MariaDB, and that was the command to check it. And as you see, it's active and running. And the same command I could use to check the HTTPD, which is my Apache. Here it is, it's running. So these two services are here. What I would do next, indeed, will be to install my PHP. I'm going to follow the documentation, and I will change the name as they advise here to, well, they say DC01, but I'm going to change it to zabbix. I'll do NM2 here, and I will go to the last option, which will be to change the name, and instead of www, well, I will change it to zabbix. Okay, and then I will escape here. The DNS server, because I need after this to join this to the domain, I will change it after. I will now show it to you how. I need to get back to my network. Remember, now I'm on the NAP network. I'm not on my LAN, actually. I'm outside. So what I need to do next is to, following on the page 3, there is a long command here, which I'm gonna copy, and I'll paste here in my environment, which will install zabbix. I will prepare the it will prepare from where to install zabbix actually. Then I will go to the next row and I will copy the next command here, okay, which is the real installation actually of all needed things for zabbix. The next is to install MariaDB. If you had any problems yesterday installing it, well, just use this one now. Secure the DB, the MariaDB is exactly what I showed on my movie. That's actually doing the password for your root account. Don't forget it. Okay. So this one you need. It will take a little bit of time just to install it. And it's done. The next thing will be a long command for finishing the actually creating the password initially with the database of zabbix. Now it will ask you for a password. That's on page 4 at the bottom. So you need to go a little bit up, and you're gonna see actually we created the MySQL. We created and the by default the password there will be ABC 1 2 3 and 3 dots. So ABC 1 2 3 3 dots. To create the zabbix to create the database for zabbix actually. So I need to execute this command as yesterday, if you remember, and I need to put my password. That's for my SQL. Okay, and then I need to copy whatever they show below. You're gonna see it on the movie as well. You need to create the database. Then you need to grant all the access and privileges to certain users, and that will be the password now, which we're gonna use after. Okay. Then we will flush. We need to save what we just did. Actually, that's the flush of privileges. Okay. And I need to quit this after this, and then I could repeat what I did here. When I'm prompted for the password, there will be no any more problem. ABC 1 2 3 and 3 dots, and now it will it will be done. It will be imported the database structure for zabbix into MariaDB. Now it's done. Now we need to set the password for the database again. So let's do it. We need to access the zabbix configuration file, and we need to find out a little bit. Well, here it is. If you want to do it properly, it's like this. And what you're looking for is DB password. So DB password. When you click, oops, DB, you're gonna find that where it is. What you need to do actually is to come here, click I to allow the editing, and you need to put the new password. And as you see, they say that, well, that's the password, ABC 1 2 3 and 3 dots as usual. So we're gonna click escape and WQ to save this. Oops, I didn't do it properly. So click inside, escape, WQ. Now I need to configure the PHP. And indeed what I need to do is to find out this where it says PHP values, and I need just to check them. And indeed the last one, I need to delete everything here. And since I'm not in Europe, I'm in America, in Toronto region, that's what I need to put here actually. And I need to uncomment this so to be executed, and I'm gonna save again with colon escape colon WQ. Now they talk about the security Linux to allow and so on and so forth. Let's see if the security Linux actually is on. Since we're in a, yeah, it's on, it's enabled. So since we're in a lab environment, it's much better actually to stop it. Okay, so what I would do, I would stop the completely SE Linux. In production you don't do this obviously, but here we don't want to, as the way we stop the firewall D, the same way actually we're gonna come here where it says enforcing, and I'll choose the one which is shown a little bit up, which says disable. Now when I do this, I need to save and I need to reboot, so it's to take place. Any questions? So we're back in the game, guys, and we'll proceed from the bottom of page 7, where they show how to actually access the database, how to access zabbix now. So I just open my browser here. I'll say zabbix. I'll say localhost actually. /zabbix. And I'll do next here. I need to check if everything is okay. It seems okay, so next again. Okay, the password. You know the password. Let me just double check. The password, you know it already. That's ABC thing. Say next step. I'll save it here. Then what we need to do is basically to click couple of times of next steps. So once it shows the pre-installation summary, it will install it. We'll say finish, and actually the admin is the username with capital letter. That's important, and the password is zabbix with small letters. So you're gonna see it on your documentation. You click sign. I'll say save, and my zabbix is available. And as they say here, as they propose, we need to install some more thing, just to be sure that then we're gonna be able to do manipulations and to check the environment. So I need to be a super user again, and now Apple release it's already installed, but just in case, just would like to put it here. And there are a couple more things which I need to install: the net SMTP, SMP, I'm sorry, and SMP utils. I'll paste them. By the way, I will say also bind utils, since I need the dig command to work for me. Once it's done, that will conclude the installation of zabbix. So now what we need to do is to get back to the state where we are, right? So I'm going to minimize this. Actually, I'm not going to minimize it. I will just clear the screen. I'll say nm2e. I don't need to do for now this. Actually, from here, I'll come and I'll stop for a while. I'll go wherever it says here network. I'll stop my network for a while. I'll go to the machine and I join it back to I'll go and I'll join it back to the state where it was. So it will be host only adapter, and it's on host only adapter 2, where is my LAN 192.168.100 network. Okay, I'll wait a little bit and I'll start it back. Here it is. I could, at any point, I could ping Google to see if I have Google now. Well, I cannot have Google for sure, because it's on the other side. My one is not anymore accessible to Google for specific purposes, but that's fine. Now, I want to join the domain, which we already have. So my domain controller is on. Let's open it and let's actually check here if we're part of the domain. I showed it to you yesterday. It's set user is the command, and we're part of the CouchNet local, so we're okay here. So to join it, there is a long procedure and there is a short procedure. We're going to use the short procedure. Now, the first prerequisite is with joining any domain. Indeed, is you guys to go to the network and to be sure that you have your DNS address, your DNS server's address there, right? Otherwise, it won't join it. So that's my web server. So here it is. Let's just check the. It's 199. That's my domain controller's IP address. Okay. So what I will do here, I'll do nm2e now. I'm not gonna check. Let me check the system name. Well, that's what we expect. I'll do edit a connection. Now I don't need to make it manual. I'll say show here. I'm gonna go to the DNS servers and I'm gonna just check the DNS server, change the DNS server to 168.100.199. Oops, I did a dot here. And then that's well, the search domain, of course, I need to put it here, and it will be housenet.local. And then I'm gonna navigate and save all of this. Okay. So this to be sure that it will take place, I'll do again the same procedure here. There is a command, though. Let me show it to you. The command it is. Let's see what's the name of the interfaces. So we have EMP0S3. That's the name of the interface. So you do EF, which is interface, down. And you put the name of the interface, EMP0S3, double ampersand, which actually is AND. That means if the first one is true, then do the second one. If up, so you first do the interface down, and afterwards, if everything is fine, you do it up, back, EMP0S3, click enter, and if everything is fine, it will say successfully. So that's the same thing what I did manually here, stopping and starting the interface. it's a good idea to know this command. Let's check my domain DNS now. The command, as you know, is cat etc resolve.conf, and well, still the other one is there. The 100.254 is still there, so I need to remove this one, or at least to move the other one on the. So after changing all of this manually, doing it statically, as you see, my name server now is what I'm expecting, and I see housenet local. These are prerequisites. We need to be sure they're done before. The fastest way joining to the domain, which most of the time we don't do, but for now we don't have too much time, so I'll do it like that, is to open the settings, go to the bottom with the scroller, do devices, do details and users. Now you see you need to unlock. That's a place where you need to be a super user, so you need to click on the unlock button and to put your password and to authenticate yourself. Okay, and now if I would like to add a user, and this user actually will be enterprise login, as you see here at the bottom. I'll click enterprise login. Okay, so what I could do here, I could put my domain, which you know is housenet.local, and yeah, as you see, it's finding it now, and that's because we have connection to the DNS. And if I use administrator and the password for administrator, and I say add, we need also to check if the domain firewall of our server has been stopped actually. So when I go to the, well, it's not supposed to be stopping production, but here, since in a lab we need to be sure it is not on, and it's most probably on since I haven't done anything after joining the domain. As you see, the domain is on, so that might be something which prevents us to join the domain at the moment. So I'm going to say turn off here. Okay, it appears every time you join to a domain. So say add now. Well, this one doesn't like it. Let's try again add. Let's do it capital. Well, I would need to reboot now. The IP address of this computer is 192.168.100.203, and we need to put the name, right? So 192.168.100.103. The name, of course, will be zabbix. Since there is no resolution of the names for now, that's why we're going to use this one, the host file actually for this. And we'll do zabbix. I'll say here also housenet local, and I'll do only zabbix also. I'll save this thing. I didn't open as an administrator though. I'll do sudo bind to this, so to repeat the command as administrator. I'll do again what I did. So say 192.168.100.203 zabbix.housenet.local, and only zabbix. Okay, I'll save this now. I'll do reboot. And after manipulating the hosts file, I will try to do the thing again. password, add the user, enterprise login, house, the domain would be use the enterprise login, use the domain. So I'll use the domain controller name now.